Welcome back to the Madden 06 rebrand featuring the Norfolk Defenders, and we've made it to the end of the regular season. We're playing the Las Vegas Venom today before the playoffs, and we've somehow won 8 in a row, and a lot of those games have felt fairly close with the exception of like maybe 1 or 2. You know, these very well could have been games that we lost and we'd be around the 500 mark. Luckily, we've been able to finagle our way out of some tough situations, and now this week we can afford to take a break, rest a few of our starters. This game ultimately doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. We've already locked up the #1 seed with our recent victory over the DC Dynamo, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be resting Derek Michaels. I might be giving our backup quarterback some time just to see like how they do. Maybe get a little bit comfortable with them in case Kerry gets hurt during the playoffs. So a few things like that. This game, I mean, it's just going to be more than anything like a practice game, like to rest some guys that need some rest to be at their peak for the playoffs or be healthy for the playoffs. And just one more time, we're going to get a look at the team matchup. So again, we have the first total defense in the league. Offense is kind of lacking aside from our rush offense. But the Venom, they're kind of down there. They have stuck into games with the turnover differential, but their defense isn't very good. So even with a few backups on offense, I think we might be able to make a significant offensive push, which is something I've been looking for in the passing game more often, but the running game has been definitely helping out. We can just see if Jones, our backup running back, can get some of those opportunities with Michaels or taking the rest for the day. Again, this is Madden 06. There's only 16 games in the regular season. I don't have like a modded version or anything like that that keeps it up to date currently, so we'll be going into the playoffs next week after the conclusion of this game, going straight to the divisional round. I'll do a wild card recap, but since we have the first round bye, things should be pretty well set along with the actual NFL season, where we'll be consistent with the NFL schedule. As you get a look there from Vegas, we are playing the New Year's Eve edition of this game. Based on the schedule that I saw in the game, we were playing at 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve, so pretty good way to bring in the new year, I suppose, unless you're a Venom fan because they didn't make the playoffs, but still a cool game to go to nonetheless. Coin toss, we lost, and we will defend here with some minimal wins. There's a look there at the standings once again. DC and Cape Coral still need to play their games this week, so where they land in the playoff race is kind of still up in the air. DC, I believe, has made it though. So on 1st and 10 from about the 25, I'm just going to go ahead and send a blitz. See how Vegas wants to set the tone. They're going to go with the draw play out to Moss, the running back. Doesn't really get much on that play, so back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more than that. 2nd down and 10. We'll go with the cover 2 on 2nd down. They have a couple tight ends on the left, a fullback, so this could very well be another run as they send one of their tight ends in motion out to the right. Indeed, the handoff is to Moss. Vargas is there for the tackle after a gain of a couple, so 3rd and 7 upcoming for Vegas Venom. They'll likely have to attack across the middle here, so I'm going to go with another cover 2 with our linebackers, kind of getting that 1st down marker. Probably some crossing patterns with the 3 receiver, 2 running back set. No, they're actually going to go with the screen to the running back, but the pressure got there right away and forces the incompletion. So Vegas with a quick 3 and out. We'll get the ball here and see what our offense can do. I went ahead and adjusted the depth chart already, so Jones will be starting at running back. Kerry, I'm going to see if he can make a little bit of an effort to get to that 1-to-1 ratio between touchdowns and interceptions before ultimately maybe benching him for the game. Lamont can't catch up to that one, so it's going to roll out of bounds close to the 20. We'll take it at the 24. See, I'll give Kerry a little bit more practice just because our passing game hasn't been there, but I might put in our backup and just see if he takes like the second half or something like that. Here's the first handoff to Jones. He's got a one-on-one situation, lowers the shoulder, gets a gain of about 7 or 8, so that's a solid first run of the game. And after one run, he's already kind of tired based on the little depth chart thing that I saw here. Jones with another solid run gets us the 1st down. Actually, I had to just go put Michaels as our 3rd string since Williams, our normal 3rd string running back, if Jones gets tired, we'll be taking the carries, or if we go to the full house formation here, there we go. Michaels is not the secondary ball carrier here now, so Jones with one more handoff here before he'll ultimately go out for Williams, I would assume. Oh, cold shoulder there. Doesn't quite have the breakaway speed, but we're going to get inside the 30. Very violent truck there by Jones, probably his best run of the season. Was indeed over a 20-yard run. We're getting close to scoring range here. Now Williams is going to take the toss. He's a little bit faster than Jones, so the toss play should work out a little bit better for him. Oh, if he didn't have to hurdle that defender, I think he was gone towards the corner of the end zone, but instead it's just a gain of 6. So 4 plays for 51 yards. Our running game is doing some work here early on, but I'd like to get the passing game a little bit more involved. We'll go with some play action here on 2nd and short. Pocket kind of collapses. We have Williams out to the left. Carey went back to his left on the run and doesn't quite get the first down, but we should be able to pick it up here on the 3rd and inches. If not, we do have a relatively easy field goal try from here, which will give us the lead. So here's Jones on 3rd and inches, a great 3rd down back for situations like these. He's a little bit more of a power runner and does indeed get the first down after a gain of about 3 or 4. Try another run on 1st and 10, see if we can get a little bit closer. So we got Abbott and Kozlowski out to the right on the outside run. Can't really get close to the right though. Has to take it back up the middle with his slower speed. Only gets a couple on that one. Our shortest run of the day so far. Even our 3rd and inches attempt was a bit longer than that. Already 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. 2nd and 8. Strong safety, not quite showing blitz, but does come in a little bit. We're going to do another play action pass. And we might have Abbott on some one-on-one coverage. Throws a little high. Or maybe Abbott jumped a bit early. In any case, it's an incomplete pass. 3rd and 8 from the 14. I'm going to see if I can get Page or Minter on some button hooks here. Otherwise, Michaels is in the game for some reason, even though he's our 3rd string. The other guys just must be really tired. Page takes it. Comes back across the first down marker, but is able to recover and get the first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5. It's a little far away, I suppose, to be doing a goal line formation, but we'll try it nonetheless. Jones has been grinding some powerful runs here so far today. Doesn't really get much on that one, so nothing doing on 1st and goal. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5 once more. Try some slants from the I formation. Safety's coming in. Playing some man coverage. Just going to go ahead and throw that one away. Coverage was tight there, and one of our receivers didn't come across back over the middle, so all we really had was Jones just like a few yards out. Michaels, the throw kind of led him back over the middle as opposed to the end zone, so that was a little bit partially my fault for waiting that long, but incomplete. We'll still take a lead here, barring a complete meltdown of the kicking meter, but this should basically be a chip shot. There we go, 99 accuracy right down the middle. So a good performance once again from our run game. We just tried a few pass attempts that didn't quite do much. Get a look there at the drive summary. Only a couple passes that went for anything significant, one of which was a 4-yard play action that went wrong, and we were lucky to even get anything off the play. We'll see if our defense can hold Vegas to another 3 and out here. Already, like I said, 4 minutes gone from the game, and that's including just 1 3 and out from the Venom. So we have pretty much owned the time of possession the last few games, honestly, with some of those sustained drives down the field with our run game. It's keeping our defense more rested, and, you know, like I said, while I'd like to punch a few more tickets into the end zone, if we can keep our defense rested and our offense, like, even if they're not scoring a ton, if we can keep our offense on the field and, you know, let our defense be a little bit more speedy off the punch or anything like that, that will always help. Vegas, I think, with one of their first pass attempts of the game. Goolsby, the wide receiver, catches that one. A lot taller than our man over there to the side, so he was just able to pick it up off of his shoulders. Vegas with their first down of the game. Goolsby again will go in motion, this time over to the right. It's a handoff, which Moss nearly cut back but tripped over one of our guys' legs and falls down after a gain of 1. This upcoming play will likely be the end of the first quarter. Vegas showing a little bit more passing. Oh, they're going to send Hicks out, but I don't know if they're going to get a playoff in time. They will not, so showed pass, couldn't call the play, but there's the end of the first quarter. We're up 3-0. Vegas trying to get something going on offense. They're still on their side of the field, but again, we're able to get the first down. Are showing a little bit more threatening packages, I suppose, with more wide receivers and tight ends. This one's going to be another handoff to Moss. Could have easily cut it back to the right, but didn't, and actually loses a yard on that play. So 3rd and 10. Get a look there at the time of possession. Now Vegas is starting to catch back up, but still outgaining them quite significantly here. 3rd and 10, I'm going to go with man coverage. They're doing a few crosses across the middle. Those are covered. And in double coverage, their guy had a chance at that one, but can't quite come up with it. It'll be a 4th down and another punt here for the Venom. The first punt was a line drive down the sideline. Lamont couldn't catch up, and it bought him another like 10 yards. So we'll see how this one goes. This one's actually a bit short. Lamont worried me there for a second. I didn't think he was going to catch it. Sometimes you have that animation where they run up and it like hits off their hip or their thigh or something. But we do get the ball at the 35-yard line, and we will start off with another run here on 1st and 10, this time to Jones. Breaks 1 tackle, doesn't get much more after that, but stays on his feet for a gain of about 4. Pass play here on 2nd down. Oh, I didn't see that other linebacker. Ooh, that would have been dangerous. Vegas with a play I haven't really seen much that the CPU's done on defense. They had a couple guys off to the side, so like Kerry couldn't scramble. It was like kind of like a spy formation. That one's lobbed to Minter. I wanted a little bit more of a dart pass. He still almost made the play, but instead it drops incomplete. So Vegas hits us with a 3 and out, so we'll punt the ball right back. Hopefully we can kind of get them inside their 20. That one's going to land out of bounds, but it's going to be just past the 30-yard line. Not quite what we were looking for, but still, if the Venom want to make a significant drive to get some points, they're going to have to go about like 40 or 50 yards at a minimum. 1st and 10, they'll start off with a 3 wide receiver formation, but it is a handoff to Moss. And Moss eludes one of our defenders, gets out to the 45. There have been a few plays like that. They've showed a pass, but they've actually handed the ball off to Moss, and that was the first one where I actually kind of worked out for him. The other ones kind of kept me on my toes, though. Sacked by Norfolk, and I think they had their running back completely scot-free over to the right, but he was running towards another receiver that they already had going out for a pass. Maybe the quarterback didn't want to throw it their way for that reason, but we take those. After a significant run play to get a 1st down close to midfield, we push them back another 6 yards. Now again, they have a couple receivers bunching up. This one's going to be into triple coverage, and Reed almost knocks it to their receiver. Doesn't quite get there. 3rd and 16 upcoming. I'm going to go ahead and do a cover 2 with a few guys near the line of scrimmage in case they decide to do like a screen or anything like that. I'm hoping that with these linebacker coverages, we can kind of make a play across the middle. Instead, they just toss the ball really quickly. Never even really had a chance to develop past the 1st down marker. And it's another punt for the Venom, their 3rd of the game. Gonna fair catch this one with Lamont. This one is gonna be a little bit past the 20. So after a pretty fun first drive where we ran the ball down the field pretty much effortlessly, it's been a little bit of a boring game since then. See if we can get the run game back on track. We went a little bit pass heavy on the last drive. Jones again barreling through defenders, picks up about 7 on that one. There's the total offense. The Venom actually have -1 passing yard after that sack. Faking the end around. This one's going to go to Jones. Not sure if he picked up the 1st down. It's going to be close. He did not. Let's go ahead and give our man Kozlowski an opportunity here on 3rd and short. Fullback should be able to pick up a 3rd and inches from this range. No, he got tackled sideways and the ball never crossed the plane, so it's 4th and inches. I don't want to chance it this close to our own territory in case they do it again. You know, stop them at the line again. So another punt upcoming. Just punting the ball back and forth at this stage. And the Venom will fair catch at the 25. I guess the one thing for both teams, and one of them is under my control, is just haven't made too many aggressive plays. Like, I know I kind of play it safe in general by running the ball and making short passes, but I guess today could be a day where I can afford to take a little bit more chances. I mean, we've already locked up a playoff position. Edwards again. God, that guy is just tall. They could throw anything their way, and Edwards just wouldn't really have much of an opportunity to jump up and knock it down or grab it or intercept it, anything like that. But 2nd and 10 nonetheless. Another ball that's kind of juggled by the Venom receiver. Now Wiggins, the quarterback, is going to go for a run. Doesn't quite get the 1st down, but got dang close. 3rd and inches. That's the first attempt we've really seen like that today. He really just kind of cut it off to the right immediately. Tried for the blitz on third down, Moss was able to break our coverage and make it for a run of about 10 before getting kind of upended and losing the football. So we get the ball right back. We'll see if the Venom decide to challenge this. They will not. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that one. I was really worried here for a second because once he got past those first 8 blitzers that I had, he could have gone a long way. But right here, I think it's one of our safeties comes in. Is it Cleveland? Just completely upends him. One hand going down for balance, the other one loses track of the football, and is that Connor, I think, that's able to pick up the ball? Yep, Connor, he's having himself a season. We weren't even really controlling him on that play, but he was able to pick up the football. So 1st and 10 from the 44. We have one play before the 2-minute warning, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a running play. Jones out to the left. Man, he's just trucking through everybody so far, but can't really get the speed behind him after that. Just some good short yardage bursts. That one for a gain of 7. We'll try a deep passing play here on 2nd and 3. Maybe we'll have Minter in single coverage. If not, we have some options out to the left here. Nelson. I jumped too early again. So carries only 2 for 8. And passes today, a few of those have been completely my fault, and we threw one of the balls away. But one of those 2 completions, like I said, was that busted rollout play. Might have Page across the middle. Oh, linebacker reacted pretty fast, was able to get there. So 4th and 3. I mean, a punt's not going to buy us too much. We might as well go for it here. Too long for a field goal. Like, the punt will only net us about like 20 yards, and our defense has been holding true. So why not? Let's go for it on 4th and 3. Nothing to lose here. Jones is open. He's got some soft hands. A little risky since I don't know how he catches the ball compared to Michaels, but he's able to get that one. And there we go. Now we're in field goal range. We can afford to maybe take a few more shots. Wow, look at that. They are really stacking the box here. I don't really have any pass plays aside from that play action pass, I suppose. And the audibles. So we went from one draw play to another. This one kind of sent out a few guys from the box on the defensive side. We were able to pick up 2. 2nd and 8 from the 24. The other thing is, like, I'm not rushing or anything. Like, we can afford to run some clock here and make sure that Vegas doesn't really have another opportunity to make a play. Almost had Minter coming across the middle, but one guy dropped back into coverage. Kozlowski got let out of bounds. The booth's going to review it, but I think he was out. I don't think there's a chance they overturned this booth review here. Yeah, he's well out of bounds. Worth a shot. What? They reversed that? Nuh-uh. You cannot tell me that this was a completed pass. Like, maybe right here, but the ball's not even, like... The ball's not even there, and it's... Well, maybe. Zoom in here. Yeah, that's not a completed pass. There's no way. He doesn't have the ball until right here. And his one foot's not even close to the stripe. We've had a few questionable like challenges or booth reviews where I was just like, wow, not like incredulous. It was like close, but that's the first one where it was like egregiously bad. And I disagree. Like, even though it benefited our team, like, I do not agree with that call. Jones with the pickup of 3 or 4 on that one. Carey is in for the touchdown on the scramble. At one point during this run, I thought he was going to get sandwiched around the 1-yard line. Did take a bit of a hit, but luckily held on to the football. Had already crossed the plane by that point. So it's not a passing touchdown, but Carey with his legs has gotten us on the board. We take those. I'd like for his ratio to be closer to 1-to-1 by the end of the game. But, if it's a 10-0 game, like, I guess we could always see how, like, the first possession goes. If we score, if our defense helps us out, and then, like, switch to our backup quarterback. I want to get at least one look with him. I don't remember much from training camp, so, like, I'm cold when it comes to our second quarterback. I'd like to be sure just in case something happens in the playoffs where Carey is unable to play. It's always good to get a feel for your team. Just in some cases, like the backups or when people are tired, because when it comes to crunch time and you're like, guys on defense are so tired and you need to like play the prevent and stuff, like you need to know like how fast they are and how they're going to perform. 3rd and 10 for the Venom. They've been unsuccessful on 3rd downs to this point. They're going with a trips formation over to the right. One of them drops back into coverage. Williams is able to make the catch, but ducks out of bounds a little bit too soon. And Vegas will punt this one for the 4th time in the first half. Maybe they'd consider it if they were a little bit out of their own territory. I mean, 4th and inches with not much time to go. But if they didn't get it, we'd only have to go a few yards in order to maybe get a scoring opportunity. So do we dare go for it with 20 seconds and all 3 timeouts? I suppose it's worth a shot. Maybe give Kerry a little bit of freedom here before he goes out for the game. We'll see. Got Brown. There's a little bit of a nudge there by the defensive back that was covering the streak pattern, which prevented the pass from being complete, but it'll be 2nd and 10. You know, it wasn't like a really bad pass interference, I suppose. Like a little bit of a bump, but that's to be expected with a game like this. Ooh, they sent 2 guys over for the blitz, and now 3rd and 20. Vegas actually called a timeout, so I guess we'll run this one. They'll likely call another timeout. We'll have to punt it. I really doubt they'll get anything on the punt from there. Why is Michaels in the game? I put him as my not third down back, but like 3rd on the depth chart. So I guess Michaels got into the game at one point. There have been a couple formations where I saw him where I didn't want to like get him involved, but that one I almost had to. We'll see if Vegas magically gets a punt return for a touchdown. No, that guy got trucked, and that's how you're going to end your half. 10-0. We'll get the ball to start as well. You look there at the halftime stats, 93 rushing yards, only 23 passing yards. So I'm going to give Kerry one more opportunity here on the opening drive before maybe going to my backup quarterback and see if we can get a little bit more of the passing game going. I remember earlier in the season we took a look at like the stats during the halfway point, and I was like, oh, Kerry's about on pace for 2,000 yards. I think we've even like thrown less by that point. Minter somehow makes the catch through 4 different defenders, gets clocked but holds on to the ball for the 1st down. That was a good little threading of the needle to make that completion. I mean, never want your receivers to get absolutely stonewalled like that either, but man, Vegas is actually playing some good man coverage today. That one leads to a sack, 2nd and 16. None of my receivers are very tall. Like, I've touched on the fact that like the Venom have that one really tall receiver. I'm like, I don't have a receiver like that where I can just, you know, hawk up the ball and see if it gets there. Page in some single coverage though. No, not quite enough on that one. Worth the shot though. See if we have Lamont across the middle here, or maybe Page or Minter on another one-on-one situation. Lamont's actually being covered by a linebacker, and he adjusts for the coverage. Was that a linebacker? Maybe it wasn't. I was gonna say, that guy was pretty fast. So tried passing, led to 1 completion for 1st down, but from there a sack, and that will likely spell the end for Justin Carey's day. But hey, he did get a rushing touchdown today, and that's what counts. Well, a rushing touchdown and his health, I guess. So Nate Jones we're going to put in at quarterback. He is significantly slower than Justin Carey, so we'll have to keep that in mind when we're doing some rollout plays or anything like that. But just to give him a look, again, it's only 10-0. It's not like the lead's so high that I can afford to, you know, just stick with him the rest of the game. But this game ultimately doesn't mean too much. It's about getting practice and making sure guys are healthy going in. If we win the ball game, like, that's just an added bonus. Moss with a carry of 4 on that one, and now the Venom are going straight to the 4 wide receiver set. Wow, what a move. And I tried for the hit stick again. He just keeps making moves. Goolsby immediately upon making that catch, like, cut back to the left sideline again, and there's that big play that we always seem to kind of let up during the course of like the 2nd or 3rd quarter. Not quite into scoring range yet. Moss, again, I tried for the hit stick, misses that one, but the defensive lineman was able to put a pretty heavy hit on him. This might actually be the first time the Venom have been in our territory in the game, but they have not made it into anything close to scoring range yet, so hopefully we can hold them here. Vargas read that one. Moss is still on his feet somehow, makes it out to about the 35. Now a short 3rd and 2. Vegas again hasn't had a 3rd down conversion all day, but this would be the easiest of the bunch if they were to make some moves for it. Play action. Oh, I knew he was going to take off too. As soon as he handed it off, he went for a run. Just couldn't quite cover ground and get there, but we were still able to get a lick on the quarterback from there. And now the Vegas Venom are inside the 25. Moss carries that one for a minimal gain. Halfway through the third quarter, and again, this is the Venom's best drive of the day. Can our defense make a play, maybe force a turnover? We haven't seen one of those all day. Goolsby's made some plays, and Williams, like I said, he's a tall boy, so like Venom should just be, I think, taking some more shots down the field. After 3 straight plays of getting nothing, the first was the first down run for no gain, and then a couple incompletions. Vegas will be led to a 41-yard field goal try. Should be makeable from this distance. And there it is, right down the middle. Some good power on that one as well. Vegas is on the board, 10-3 now. Goolsby, nice little 35-yard gain during the drive there. Made a couple of elusive maneuvers to get away from our defense. Lamont will take this one out to about the 30. So here is Nate Jones with his first possession of the season. We're just going to hand the ball off here to the other Jones. I just realized they're both named Jones. Nothing doing on that play, so we're going to go to a pass on second down. So we have Nate Jones at quarterback and Wade Jones at running back. How about that? Minter makes the catch for about 5 or 6. Looked like he was injured, but thankfully getting up okay. Big third down conversion. We're not really converting on too many of those ourselves. This will be a 3rd and 5. Venom have nobody back past the 40-yard line, so they are stacking right here. Why is Michaels on these formations? Oh, I must have him as my 3rd down back. That's got to be it. Can't believe it took me this long to figure that out. We'll put in Williams here for the rest of the game. Regardless, Vegas brought the blitz on that one, and we had to get off a quick throw. Jones was kind of rushed into making an inaccurate pass, and it's going to be a 4th down punt opportunity. Bit of a high snap, but this one's going to be close to the 20-yard line. Fair catch. Oh, he fumbled it. But we can't advance the ball, so we get it at the 28-yard line. That's that animation I'm talking about. Like, they start to turn around to catch it like this, and the ball just gets there too quick. So it's like a fumble. Just if you line drive it or just do it enough off to the side where the receiver has to get to that point and then make an animation to like turn to catch the ball, like they're gonna fumble it every single time. Not trying to cheese my punts or anything, just kind of explaining how it works. I've noticed that a few times as I've punted the ball. After a good first quarter, Jones has just not really had much room to run from here on out. Somehow stays on his feet long enough to get a few yards on that one. 2nd and 7. I know we've made a lot of like incompletions and stuff like that, but Vegas's defense has really solidified since the first quarter, and you know that was something we didn't really anticipate much going into the game. Oh my goodness, how did that get over the linebacker? That play took way too long to develop, and by the time I decided to throw it to Abbott, it still came right across the middle. Nearly got picked off, but like I was saying, the Venom's defense though, not one of the best rated in the league, so the fact that they're kind of holding us here, even with the few backups, you know, Michael's not playing, is pretty significant. Like, they're ending the season on a bang, somewhat. Jones gets nothing on that one. 2nd down and 12. In the few throws I've had with Jones, too, I've realized that his throw power, I think, is a lot stronger than carries. The ball's just gotten there a whole lot quicker. Got Brown to the end zone. There we go. Just had enough space after he cut out to the right. Look here. Safety tried to cheat back across the middle, and by the time the ball was thrown, I mean, it was a little bit behind the receiver. If we caught him in stride, it would have really been no contest, but there's a passing touchdown. Don't get too many of those. Jones with the strike. Again, like from what I've seen, he has a little bit stronger of an arm, just not very mobile. Accuracy, like I haven't thrown enough to really make it a decision on that so far. But there we go. There's our touchdown over the air that we were looking for today, and as we near the end of the third quarter, we go up 17-3, kind of on the gift punt, but we were able to capitalize. The Venom have been kind of trending towards passes regardless as the game's worn on, but they're really going to go pass heavy here as we get into the fourth quarter. Here's one more run to Moss. Read that misdirection handoff and loses a yard on that play. 2nd and 11. When you start getting back into a game like Madden 06, you start to see the computer start to do a few of the same plays to the point where you're kind of used to it after a while. So that play, like, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and they get the ball off with exactly 1 second left to go. Goolsby I trended away with my linebacker to go where the vision cone was, and that ends up being a first down mistake. Try the blitz here on first down. Again, we are playing on New Year's Eve canonically in this game, so it's getting late, probably close to about 10 o'clock, 10:30 local time. Lights have really turned on here, or the darkness kind of transitioned over noticeably from the third quarter into the fourth quarter. 2nd and 5, I'm sending the blitz, although with this quarterback, he might be a little bit mobile. Really quick throw, good decision there by the QB. Gets him across midfield, 1st and 10. For the second time in as many drives, the Venom are across midfield, the only 2 times they've done that today. Going deep ball for the big guy. Oh, they're going to get us for pass interference. Oh, wow. I'm lucky this didn't happen in a bigger game. So right here, I switch over to, I believe, the safety and kind of go for this ball. But the other corner, since the receiver tried to come back and catch the ball, he runs into the other corner, and that's who they got for the pass interference penalty there. And now the Venom, like, they are within striking distance. They're at the 12-yard line inside the red zone, and this could be a touchdown opportunity. Our defense is starting to wither a little bit. I mean, penalty is one thing, but just able to sneak that throw past Connor, who was there on the coverage, or supposed to be there on the coverage. Luckily, we're able to adjust and tackle him before the end zone. 2nd and 2 from the 3-yard line. See how they want to do this. Fake handoff. And that one's to the back corner of the end zone, but couldn't hold on to the catch. I'm going to chance it here on 3rd and 2. Send the blitz. Send the blitz with some man coverage. Zone coverage, like, there's too much zone to cover, so we need short throws and then man bodies on people. I missed Moss, but didn't get into the end zone quite yet. 1st and goal, got the first down, and they're at the half-yard line, actually. So this should be an easy run for a touchdown. They're going to do a toss play. I've noticed that a few times with the CPU this season while I've been playing. They'll get to the 1-yard line or the 2-yard line and just decide to do a toss play for whatever reason. It does keep the defense off balance, but, like, when you're that close, just pound it in, honestly. Now Thompson gets the inside handoff once they're back to the 5 or the 6-yard line, and doesn't really get much. So 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. So we'll have double coverage here in the corners of the end zone, and then it'll be up to me with Connor to either spy the quarterback or defend the middle. There we go. We had double coverage over there. Receiver was kind of caught off balance, and it's a 4th down try, all or nothing here. I'm going to go with the same exact play. Vegas, I mean, not really much else you want to try. It's late in the game. You're down 2 touchdowns. It's the end of the season. Like, why not go for it? That's going to be picked off by Burton. I thought I was there with the interception with Connor, but regardless, interception or just knocking the ball down was going to lead to the same result. Just looks a little bit better in the stat sheet. And from here on out, we can just kind of run things with Jones and Williams, run out some clock, get out of our end zone, I guess, too. Jones, only a gain of 1 on that play. If you look there at the offensive production, Venom are starting to creep a little bit closer to us on the time of possession, but with this drive, I believe we should be able to win that battle. Oh my goodness, that guy just had 2 blockers run right past him. What are we doing? I had one of my offensive linemen, and I believe Kozlowski just goes straight past that guy. So 3rd and 12, we're at the 5. At this point, we're just trying to run some clock and, again, get out of the end zone. Williams, the 3rd down back since I subbed him for Michaels, is able to get us out to about the 10-yard line, but that's about it. We should be able to let this run down to the 2-minute warning, and Vegas will get some good field position, but it'll be tough for them to still score a couple touchdowns within that 2-minute range, especially after getting so close and failing here just a moment ago. But all in all, so far a pretty good showing from our offense without Michaels. Like, yes, we've had a few smaller runs to have in the second half, and passing game wasn't really there for majority of the game, but like I didn't really feel like everything was off or too clunky, you know, like it wasn't like we were throwing interceptions or I don't know, just with all the incompletions, we still played a safe game, and that's all you can really hope for. The defense has been holding strong regardless. This punt's going to put them past the 50, and fair catch called for right before Norfolk was about to get up on them. So the Venom will start this drive from the 42. They need 2 touchdowns to tie the game. Still have all 3 timeouts. Our defense is tired. Like, they are tired. Wiggins tries to cut this one off to the side. Gets tackled by our defensive end, and I don't think that's technically a sack. Oh, ball got bobbled a few times, and Connor comes up with it. That was funny. There are like 3 different guys that just kind of played hot potato with it before Connor eventually made the play. I know I should be really running the ball here, but I do want to give Jones one more try here. Drop back into zone anyway. That's a nice strong pass to Minter. Vegas calls the timeout, partially because of the injury, but also since they do need to start conserving the clock a little bit. Yeesh, we haven't even reached 100 rushing yards yet. I mean, maybe we did and just lost a few since. Jones gonna power this one for a few yards. There's the timeout by Vegas. 2nd and 7. This will be a play action play on 2nd down. Stay in bounds, Jones. There we go. Dives ahead to the 21. Vegas not calling any timeouts here. There's a look at Jones' stats. 5 for 6 so far today. Not bad. I think he already has more completions than carry. There's Jones lowering the shoulder again. Gets across the 10. And there's Vegas' final timeout. We're going to try one more play action play here with Jones. See if we can get something. Actually, no. I'm going to audible to this other one. This one's a better layout. Kozlowski? That's been the theme all season. Just those dart plays he just cannot, or the dart passes he just can't handle. Would have had a touchdown. I mean, I'm trying to get the fullback involved. He just hasn't been able to convert on a couple plays like that so far this season, or this game, honestly. That 3rd and inches, probably should have had that earlier. There goes Jones in for the score. I didn't think he'd get there. Might have had his knee down by the 1, but game gave it to him. And there's the payoff he's been looking for. He took the start today. Had a few good runs in the 1st quarter, not much sense, but finally gets his first touchdown of the game. And that one's your ball game. Extra point here will make it 24-3. Vegas will, for all intents and purposes, try and drive down the field to maybe get something else on the board. But there's Jones. Had the 1 reception and a couple good runs on that drive. I like Jones. He's a good 3rd down back. Like, if you want to dump the ball on 3rd down on like a pass play, I'd still prefer Michaels in the backfield. But like, if you need a 3rd and short situation, like, Jones is not a bad guy to have. So 1 minute for the Venom left in their season. A loss today would drop them to 6 and 10, out of the playoff picture. A lot of time there. Reed picks that one off. Takes it back across the 25, close to the 20 though. We'll give Williams a carry here. Williams is actually the youngest running back on the roster. Same overall as Jones, just a little bit more nimble. Gets a couple yards on that one. 2nd and 8. I mean, I could be kneeling, but again, I just wanted to see about like practice. Williams gets clocked at the 10. But another completion there. He was wide open. Jones with another completion, I should say. Do one more play here on 2nd down. I mean, if it falls incomplete, I'm not going to like kick a field goal or anything. Just trying to get some guys some looks. Nearly picked off there. Went back across the middle when I probably shouldn't have. 3rd goal, so 2 seconds left. Page to the end zone. No, gets batted away. Nothing doing though. And there you have it. Are they going to have a special animation here for the end of the game? They didn't show the scoreboard, but again, the game ends 24-3. There's Jones. He's fired up. Had a few incompletions on that last drive, but get a good look at some players here to end the game. And the Norfolk Defenders, for the 9th consecutive game win, pushed their record to 13-3. Already have solidified the 1st round bye, but we will get a look at the playoff picture here in just a moment. Quick look at the stats here. Nate Jones, even after those last few incompletions, 6 for 10 on the day, 112 passing rating. More yards, 1 more touchdown than Justin Carey. On the ground, Jones, not quite a 100-yard day, but still a respectable 95 yards on 20 attempts, near a 5-yard average. Carey also had a rushing touchdown. And receiving, we spread some love. Minter, Jones, Williams, like they all had some catches. Brown had one for 16 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, we're not like heavily relying on any receiver. We're just taking what's given to us by the defense. Connor, with the player of the game, had a late fumble recovery and an interception, so I would have given it to Jones personally, but Connor's had himself a season. One of the other guys I was considering resting, but, you know, since I control him all the time. So we will simulate the rest of the week. The main matchups to look for, let's see if our divisional opponents are. There we go. So the Dynamo have what should be an easy game against the Liberty to push them to 11-5. And the Crocs play the Comets. They're playing for their playoff lives. Buzz and Storm, that's going to be a good one. So let's go ahead and simulate the week. First, we got some records before we take a look at wildcard week. One of the guys in the league just set a record for most field goals in a season. So there's your wildcard. I'm going to go ahead and look at the standings here just to give you a in-depth look at the top 6 teams. So the Defenders 13-3, the Sailors at 11-5, so they won. The Wildcats won their final game to move to 10-6, and the Buzz fell all the way down to 4th place. They were a top 2 or 3 team for quite a bit of time, and look at this. The Dynamo didn't make it? I swear they had clinched a playoff spot, but look at that. The Crocs sneak into the playoffs. The Dynamo must have lost then, right? They had 10 wins. Let's see what happened. Let's see, week 17, they were a little bit down here. They lost to the Liberty in overtime. Oh no. Look at the box score. They were up 20-3 and choked it. Pennsylvania with 13 points in the 4th quarter, and they scored in overtime. Oh my goodness. I think they'll end up being the only 10-win team that didn't make the playoffs. So yeah, the Liberty beat the Dynamo. The Crocs won their final game. Let's see. I think the Storm are in the AFC, but they beat the Buzz. So the Buzz also had a bit of a fall to end the season. My God, I thought the Dynamo were like one of the 3 solid teams that was in. It was like us, the Buzz, and the Dynamo, but apparently not. I guess I mixed that up. So the Dynamo missed the playoffs at 10-6. The Crocs and the Bandits sneak in. What division were the Bandits in again? Okay, so the Buzz won that division pretty handily, even though they lost a few games to end it. Sailors and Bandits must have just gone on some runs to end the season. Yes, indeed. Sailors with 8 straight wins. The Bandits with 3 straight wins. The Crocs, they've been kind of up and down for the season. Like, they were good, then they fell to 500, but they won 3 straight to win and get a playoff spot. The Dynamo lost 3 in a row, including to us. And they had a really lengthy winning streak as well. And in the West, the Centurions had a shot. They lost. The Wildcats won anyway, so there you go. Now let's get a look at the AFC. The Georgia Marshals are the top team at 11-5. You have a few 10-6 teams. And the Cougars should technically be the 4. They won their division at 8-8. That's abysmal. A couple other 8-8 teams. You have a couple 7-8-1 teams. So again, you have 3 teams in the AFC that made it with less than 10 wins. 1 500 team. Oh, excuse me. 2 teams that made the playoffs with less than 10 wins. 1 8-8 team. And the Dynamo did not make it. So let's take a look here. The Snowbirds with the divisional victory over the Storm. Each team won their final game, but the Snowbirds must have gotten the tiebreaker. Marshals were the best team here. The Sharks got the second wild card. Sea Monsters 10-6. They were on a couple win streak to end the season. And the Cougars, this was the worst division of the bunch. The Lions, after we beat them, had a chance. I think they might have, yeah, they did win their final 2 games, so I guess it wasn't really much of a race after all. But the Cougars hold on. They hold that final divisional spot, the 4 seed in the AFC. So let's get a look at wildcard week. Sharks and Sea Monsters, Bandits and Wildcats. That's a rivalry game. Storm and Cougars and the Crocs and the Buzz are your wildcard week matchups. The teams with the byes, we have us, we have the Georgia Marshals, the Toronto Snowbirds at 10-6, won the tiebreaker there again, and the Sailors. They've had a lengthy streak to end the season. That might be the team to look out for. So what I will do then is going into next week, I will not, again, be playing wildcard week, so we're just going to stack the wildcard and the divisional week together. Before I begin the divisional matchup game, I'm just going to go ahead and give you an in-depth look at all these wildcard matchups and sim them live so you can see what happens. And then from there on out, we will preface our matchup with whoever we're matched up against before the game starts. So that is the end of the regular season. Hope you guys enjoyed up to this point. We are getting real into the playoffs. We could be one and done. We shall see, but if we were to lose, I will go ahead and do the rest of the playoffs live in that video as well. Give you guys a look at the matchups, sim the game live, take a look at the box score, all that fun stuff. And then from there, whenever the playoffs do end or whenever our season ends, I will be doing the off season. So we will be doing the NFL draft, signing some free agents, stuff like that. We'll have an off season episode before getting back into season 2. I haven't decided when I'm going to start season 2. I'm not sure if I'll directly continue it after season 1, but kind of just depends on how things go. As you guys might know, I'm a little bit more of an MLB The Show streamer, so if we do go pretty deep into the playoffs and it takes a few weeks, since I usually like to space these out over the course of the week, we'll see how close that gets us to the MLB launch before I can commit to a second season. But regardless, this has been really fun. I haven't played Madden really that much in years, and I decided to go back to the days of old. We're at the playoffs. We've done a whole regular season, and now's the fun part of the playoffs. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the first edition of the playoffs in the Norfolk Defenders Madden 06 rebrand. Signing off for now, this is Kasabe.